99.1 and 99.5 FM. We do apologize for the late start due to some technical difficulties. Let's get to the news in details. We tell you now that Liza Phase 1 operations, Chinese partner with 25% stake, made 9.3 billion profit in 2020, according to Christopher Ram. CNOOC Petroleum Gan Limited, formerly known as CNOOC Nexen, the Chinese partner with a 25% stake in the Starbuck block, raked in a whopping $9 billion in profit from the Liza Phase 1 operations in 2020. Revealing this was chartered accountant Christopher Ram, following his assessment of the company's latest financial statements. Ram intimated that CNOOC operates as an offshore company in Barbados. For decades, that CARICOM country has operated as a tax haven. Rams said one ought to remember as well that CNOOC Guyana Limited is not a Guyanese company, but a Barbadian company, which operates in Guyana as a branch. In its deception, not unique to CNOOC, it also participated by Hess and Esso Exploration and Production Guyana Limited, which is ExxonMobil's subsidiary. Ram conclude, it is clear that the 2016 petroleum agreement governing the Starbuck block was not scared contract, but an economic crime in which the PPPC and the APNU EFC governments have played active roles. We tell you now that the Guyana National Broadcasting Authority, GNBA, has written Kaieteur Radio, sister company of Kaieteur News, on what it refers to as 3 yellow infractions of both the Broadcast Act under which the radio station operates and the GNBA guidelines for broadcasters. The first infraction noted that to the KN publisher Glenn Lal's commentary on his program, The Glenn Lal Show, March 9, 2021 broadcast, during which the authority claims that the broadcaster aired or caused to be aired containing unsustained claims and opinions presented as facts. The second infractions relate to the airing of a song by singer Ravi B, Rum in Mavane, which the authority says was played on air on March 11, 2020 during the Morning Rush program hosted by DJ Casual and Alana Bose. Third infraction involves a March 18, 2021 edition of the Glenn Lal Show, in which the phrase, Guyana, I'm freaking upset, was uttered. The authority urged Lal to immediately desist from broadcasting such content. Almost 5 years after the coalition had signed an oil contract, internationally criticized and lopsided with ExxonMobil and its partners, it now wants the current PPPC government to fix it. The challenge to correct the contract was put forward by the coalition's Shadow Minister of Petroleum Sector David Patterson during the 28th sitting of the 12th Parliament held last Thursday. Patterson had called on the PPPC government to renegotiate the Starbuck oil block contracts during a sitting of Parliament in September of last year. Despite his challenge to the government, Patterson had still sought to defend the deal his party had signed. Meanwhile, Vice President and General Secretary of the PPPC Bharath Jagdeo has said that his government will not renegotiate the contract. In other news, President Ali has officially declared that the current countrywide flooding situation is a national disaster. The proclamation, according to a post on his Facebook page, was recorded in the official gazette on Thursday. Photos of legal documents was also uploaded on the president's page. Part of the proclamation reads, and whereas of 9 hours on June 7th, a total of 28,228 households were reportedly impacted by the current flood, with water either entering homes, livestock and domestic animals in distress, or farm fields, resulting in crop damages. The declaration comes just days after, during an outreach, he told residents of Berbice, Region 6, that the countrywide flooding situation is considered to be a Level 2 disaster. Ali had related that the classification of the disaster was based on advice he had received from the CDC. Back. Thank you for joining us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. We continue with the news. Cop station at Morawana, a small Atlantic Coast village located off the Birima-Waini Region 1 on Wednesday, removed at least 70 Venezuelan nationals from the MV Kimbia, which was bound for Georgetown. The Venezuelan reportedly boarded the vessel around 8 hours from Cumaca, Mabaruma, a town that is located in Region 1. Mabaruma is close proximity to the Aruca River, a border with neighboring Venezuela. One of the Venezuelans who was taken off the vessel said that they explained to the officers and the crew that they already paid in Cumaca and they have no more money left. The authorities there reportedly responded that if that is the case, they can go. As a result, they were ordered to remove all their belongings from the boat as quickly as possible. A video recording seen by this media house from their cell phones showed scores of Venezuelans, including children, removing their belongings from the vessels in the rain. Get the full details in today's Kaieteur News. Meanwhile, a soldier attached to the Ghana Defense Force was arrested on Friday evening after he beat a party of policemen about 18 hours 15 at the Port Drank Tarmac, West Bank, Demerara. According to a police report, a group of police on a mobile patrol came upon the suspect at the Port Drank Tarmac, who started to verbally abuse the ranks with expletives. He was warned about his conduct and told to desist from such behavior, but he continued in a loud tone of voice, causing people to gather at the scene. As one of the ranks attempted to arrest the soldier, he began assaulting the said rank with several chucks and cuffs about his body. Upon seeing this, a police sergeant and other ranks attempted to render assistance, but they were also assaulted with cuffs and chucks, causing one cop to receive injuries to his mouth. Subsequently, the soldier was arrested and taken into the Vredenhoek police station, where he was placed in custody pending charges. A 22-year-old porter of 4 Miles, Port Kaituma, drowned on Thursday while he tried to swim across the Birima River in the Northwest District to head home after he grew impatient of waiting on the water to recede at the river. According to a police report, the deceased, Franklin Benjamin, was a truck porter and would assist in delivering food supplies and fuel to various back dams. While on their way back home, he and the crew were forced to stop at the Birima River, where they spent 2 days waiting on the water, which had prevented them from crossing the river to recede. According to a report, this caused the porter to grow impatient as he proceeded to swim across the river to head home. Whilst in the middle of the river, Benjamin had shouted for help and his crew members tried to rescue him, but their efforts to reach him were futile. The porter eventually went down into the water and did not surface again. Investigations are ongoing. The Caribbean Court of Justice has moved to suspend a judgment by appeal court in the matter where Guyanese-American Marcus Bisram was ordered to face fresh proceedings for the murder of Berbice carpenter Fayaz Narindat. The CCJ made the order on Friday after a preliminary hearing of an appeal filed by Bisram and his legal team. During the hearing, the CCJ ordered that the appeal court judgment in the Bisram case be suspended until the matter is being heard and determined by the judges of the CCJ. The CCJ also ordered that no steps be taken to rearrest Bisram, but made it pellucid that he must surrender all of his passports by 12 noon on Monday to the Registrar of the Supreme Court and further to report every Monday morning to the Divisional Police Commander in Berbice. A 26-year-old salesman and driver of Associated Brands of Lot A Good for Wacton East Coast Demerara has been arrested after he confessed to staging a robbery on Friday at Stabrook Market. Reports are that the salesman and 2 delivery men went on the Stabrook Square to deliver the company's products to their customers on uplift payments. However, after his 2 colleagues were making deliveries, the salesman stayed in the enclosed tray of the truck, which was left open, and began counting a day's sale. He alleged that he was confronted by 2 bandits who entered the counter and demanded him to hand over the cash and he had in a black plastic bag. The driver claimed that he compiled and handed over the cash, after which the bandits escaped north along Water Street. The police said that the salesman reported the robbery soon after. An investigation was launched. Law enforcement officers then reviewed CCTV footage from the area, which didn't support the victim's story. Get the full details in today's Kaieteur News. And with that, we've come to the end of your main newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Let me remind you that you can get the full details of these stories and much more by picking up a copy of the Kaieteur News at a newsstand near you, or head across to our website at kaieteurnewsonline.com. And just before we go, let me bring to you today's page 7 of the Kaieteur News that is dedicated of being blunt. After years of being plagued with a single natural disaster, flooding, you would think that desilting of trenches and clearing out outfalls and other waterways would be second nature to the relevant authorities. However, each year that we are faced with rainfalls that lead to flooding, we then realize that Ghana, our dear land, is usually caught unprepared. Isn't it high time that the Civil Defense Commission and other relevant agencies work on a plan that can really see us having an upper hand when it rains too much? I am Joshua Van Slyckman. Thank you for joining us, encouraging you to wear your face mask, practice social distancing, and most of all, to practice good hand hygiene. So long